this has to be said again. The Russian invasion of our elections is a greater assault than the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. A naval base can be rebuilt. A navy can be rebuilt. But when democracy is destroyed, it ain't coming back. For his own purposes, Donald Trump invited the Russians to invade our democracy. And now, 2 years later, he's still in denial that it happened. Or that it was Russians. Or that he had anything to do with it. Or maybe his son had something to do with it. But it was inadvertent. Or advertent. One of them. How do you accidentally commit treason? Yes, that's their alibi. The Republicans say that Donald was new at presidential elections since he's not a politician. He didn't know he was breaking the law. These are the same people who were ready to impeach President Obama because he wore a tan suit. Remember how much time was spent on the damn tan suit? Now, Trump's campaign took stolen information from Russian agents, which would have even been illegal if the information was stolen by U.S. agents. Any contribution by foreigners are illegal. Republicans, they're not so law and order when they're breaking the law and order. A friend of mine in Toronto 2 years ago had to ask me to buy her a Bernie Sanders coffee mug on their campaign site because they refused to take her order from a Canadian. So, selling a fundraising coffee mug to a Canadian is a violation of the law, but selling the entire process to the Russians doesn't seem to concern Trump's Republican enablers, since, I don't know, fetuses need to be saved. That's basically it. That's what they said. You know, wow, it's Roe versus Wade. We're going to be in a fascist dictatorship for the benefit of unborn. Which means non-born, which means whatever. And to hell with the previously born. Now I'm going to have you imagine an alternate history in another dimension like ours. It's December 8th, 1941, and President Franklin Delano Trump is addressing a joint session of Congress. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a very lucky number, go to my casino and play it. A day that will live in infamy, the lying press falsely reported that Pearl Harbor had been suddenly and deliberately attacked by the forces of Japan. First, let me say you should not believe what you hear on the radio or see in the newsreels. The radio and newsreel reporters are enemies of the United States. Pearl Harbor was not attacked. I've spoken to the Japanese Prime Minister Tojo. He assured me there was no attack. And if it is discovered there was an attack, then Japan had nothing to do with it. I like Prime Minister Tojo. He's a strong leader. He said, why would they attack? Or why wouldn't they attack? Something like that. And if there was an attack, it could also be somebody else, like somebody sitting on their bed that weighs 400 pounds, okay? Just joking, not joking, joking. All right, no. Now, if you should see any of those newsreels of burning battleships in Hawaii, do not believe them. Only believe what I tell you. It was a phony attack. News of the Pearl Harbor attack is a hoax, a witch hunt, and a fishing expedition. Just ignore all those fish and witches falling out of the nets. And who can forget Franklin Delano Trump's famous fireside tweet? We have nothing to fear except Islamic fundamentalists and dark people who wear un-American headgear. We must also fear a Latin American prison gang, MS-13, and the youth division, PG-13. We also have to fear people who don't speak English. And whenever you hear someone speaking a foreign language, know that they are insulting you and mocking our American way. Fear that, fear that. Oh, and don't forget, fear gay people who want you all to eat gay pastries covered in rainbow frosting at all meals, which will be free. I don't eat just any gay. I like glot gay. And if you should beat someone up while expressing your religion, and your religion happens to be Christianity, I pardon you. Yeah. Listen, it looks like a rant, but it's actually timed, and it's on a script, and I'm going to say thank you very much. And next, oh, gee, I forgot the whole thing. Alice Luker.